Hello, it's Rose, or Fox, depend on what you call me. This is gonna be a little bit unusual video. I'm gonna be commentating over some gameplay, and I want you to be taking some of the things I say with a bit of grain of salt, due to this is just from my perspective. Something I think about is switching up my offense and defense, depending on what my opponent reacts to, and how they behave to certain attacks, like unblockables, bashes, etc. And most people have a different reaction depending on a bash or a unblockable that you just hit. So bashes often, when they hit, that's when you get the reaction. If you throw an unblockable, you get the reaction pretty early, often. So that can also give you good amount of information. Victory! I do often like throwing basically random heavies like in the beginning of a fight or just as a starter. But I noticed that my opponent actually went and did something similar, kind of like a startup. But I didn't know you could actually use that to get a hyper armor light, which is quite interesting. Something I could have done here was actually not soft feint that heavy and let it fly. I could have feinted it and guard broken him, and that should have probably allowed me to win the round. I don't know if this is just me, but every time I get my opponent to critical or just one hit, I have a hard time often taking him down due to consistently try to go for an execution, but I often end up getting killed that way. So I really just need to get over myself, but I just wonder if anyone else have been in a similar situation. Victory! When it comes to the of games, I often build up a specific mentality behind it all. So when it comes to unblockables and zone attacks that have more than one attack and often can be feinted, I think of this like you have to give your opponent a reason to parry. Because if you keep throwing unblockables and you haven't like thrown it a single time, you just use it for baiting, they don't have a reason to parry it, do they now? Because from a realistic standpoint, why should they try to go for something that they know it's fake? Because we, as humans, we're all just deceptive at nature, really. So I expect them to deceive me more than anything. I do become surprised when I just get a random heavy. It just doesn't really make much sense. That's why often when you fight someone who is new to the game, you can tell because the things they're doing doesn't make much sense in a way compared to someone that knows what they're doing and actively trying to kill you by using either deception or committing to something. Victory! Something I also see often is people who like deflecting, they often go a bit too much with the deflect, so it's good to mix in between parrying and deflecting certain attacks. But then again, you play how you ever want to play, but for competitive play, for an example, I have had some people that consistently just try to do either dodge attacks away from to avoid attacks, or they just try to deflect consistently and I can just feint my attack and or break them. This last match I'm just gonna let you enjoy.